Today, I want to show you how you can avoid paying 30% to Apple on your in-app purchases that run inside of the US App Store. This is big, so let me show you how you can set this up so you can save a fortune of money. Now, due to a new change with the US courts, due to a new court order, Apple can no longer force you to use their 30% payment gateway. They will have to allow you to use third-party payment processors inside of your application, which lets you dramatically cut back on the amount of money that you're paying. We have a great blog article on blog.despia.com about that, but you need to set it up. It's not happening out of the box, so you need to first decide which payment processor you want to use: Stripe, PayPal, Polar. I wouldn't use PayPal. They tend to refund your customers for all kinds of reasons. They are great for consumer protection, but consumer protection as an app developer is not your friend. You want someone who's fair to your users and fair to you as the business owner. So this brings us to Stripe. They're great, but they don't handle your taxes. If you've been using in-app purchases before, you know that Apple deals with the taxes and all the compliance and chargebacks and customer support. If you want to do all of that yourself, which is quite a big responsibility, you can use Stripe. If you don't want to do this, you're stuck and left with Polar, which is actually my favorite processor. I really love them. They're the first one I would consider. So today I want to show you how you can set this up with Polar. It's super simple. So first of all, you want to register your in-app purchase with Polar. So I'm doing this right now on their test account, so in Sandbox, so I can show it to you without spending actual money. So let's create a new product. Let's call this in-app purchase. You can name this whatever you want. And I'm going to just do, like, you can do monthly, yearly, but I'm just going to do one-time pricing. I'm going to do a fixed price and it'll be 19 bucks. And now I'm going to create this product, and now I need to create a checkout link for this product. So I'm going to go to the checkout link. I'm going to add a new link. I'm going to just give it a name, in-app purchase, and then I need to have a success URL. So I'm just going and get the success URL of my web application. So I got that right inside of here, and I'm just going to copy that. Now, to make sure that this opens it in your mobile application, we need to set up the Apple Site Association, but I'll walk you through that in the next step. So as you can see, I have this right inside of here, and now I can create the link. I need to select the product though first. Okay, and now I can create the link. Beautiful. So now what we need to do is we need to make sure that when we open this link and when we're done with the link, it goes back into the application. In order to do that, we need to set up app links inside of our application, or also known as universal links. So we need to create a JSON file named Apple App Site Association. And that file will need to have app links, details, app IDs, that will be our development team ID, and then our app bundle ID separated with a period. And then on components, we're going to just do the wildcard. So all paths are being redirected inside of your application. You can adjust this to your liking. And we need to host this on /.wellknown/Apple Site Association. I can show you an example how this would look inside of my application. I just have a proxy route that goes from .wellknown to Apple Site Association, and it then serves the file that I host on my own CDN that essentially is just this file with my information. Depending on what framework you're using, this could be in a Cloudflare worker, just an additional file that you add that's a JSON file, or it could be inside of WeWeb, just a custom path file that you upload in the file manager, or in Nordcraft, it could just be a custom proxy. This really depends on what tool you're using, but it's simple to set up. And I would also suggest you, if you want to understand more how this works, take a look at our videos about how to set up app links inside of your iOS application, if it's built on top of WeWeb, Webflow, Nordcraft, whatever you're doing. We have videos for all of that as well. But this is essentially what you want to have set up so you can redirect back into the application. Now the next thing will be whitelisting those links here to be opened inside of your core application, so that when they open in your core application, they actually have to legally open into Safari. You can't open this in an in-app tab. Apple will not allow you to do that. You have to open this URL, sandbox/api.polar.sh and by.polar.sh inside of the Safari browser. This is the legal requirement. This is what Apple wants you to do. So let's copy this and let's go back into our application. And we need to make sure that on the always open in browser section, which could be in the visual editor here, or you could do this in your Xcode project, we need to make sure that we whitelist sandbox api.polar.sh to be always opened in the browser. We also need to make sure that we open by.polar.sh always in the browser. That is very important. It can never be opened inside of your application, otherwise your app will be rejected. And now once doing that, you want to rebuild your application. Now I already have my application rebuilt because I already have it prepared, so I do not need to do that, but you want to redeploy your application because those are structural changes to your application. So that's important to note. So now once we have the setup, we want to go back to Polar. We want to make sure that we save this link, that the success link is correct, which it is. Let's save this, and now we can use this. So we can now go inside of our application on our homepage, and I can add an A tag inside of here. Okay, and that A tag will then have the href go to this checkout link, right? And I can just give it a name, in-app purchase, and you can style the A tag to your liking as well. So you're completely fine in doing that. So we have this, it should redirect back into the application. So let's try this out. Okay, that is funky with the flashing here. But now let's try going on our iPhone. Let's try opening our application. Let's try clicking on in-app purchase. You will see that it will open it on the device. I can do Apple Pay if I want to. So now I think I can pay it directly. Oh no, I need to put in my address. So let's do cardholder name, Despia HQ. I'm going to purchase as a business name, Despia HQ, billing address. There you go. And I'm going to pay for this. I need to do state, California. Okay. And let's pay. I now need to put my email inside of here. Beautiful. Okay. Oops. Let's scroll down here and let's go on pay. And now we're paying. It doesn't seem that test mode does really like that, so we may just need to do a fake card. So let's do a fake card here because we're in test mode. We can just do 4242424242 and then 426424, and then let's try paying that. And that should then redirect us to the success page inside of the application. So let's see if that actually works. And now as you can see, we're going back into the native mobile application and we are on the success page in the mobile application. And then you can listen for webhooks, and I just got the thank you for your purchase email. And we can now listen for webhooks, and we can also add metadata to the checkout so that we can use actually Polar's API to generate the checkout link. So we can assign a user ID to the checkout link to then figure out which user actually paid, or we could pre-inject the email to use that. It's really flexible. I would highly suggest you take a look at Polar's REST API to use their checkouts API, but this is how the concept works, and this is how you avoid paying 30% to Apple so you can keep all that money for yourself. And Polar deals with the taxes, it deals with compliance, it deals with customer support, with chargebacks, with fraud. You don't have to worry about that. You get the same service that you would have gotten from Apple, but you pay only 4.5, 4.9, something like this percent in transaction fees for them being the legal entity handling your payments, which is a really good deal. So definitely check them out, and this is how you set it up with them. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video where we talk more about native mobile applications and hybrid mobile applications. Take care. Bye.